Madam Chairman. Dr. Tierney, are you aware that over 4,000 American eagles, red-tailed hawks, American kestrels, and burrowing owls are killed every year by wind turbines?
I did not have that fact at my fingertips, and I would love to see the reference to it.
I would be happy to provide that to you. Do you believe that the destruction of American birds is good for the environment?
No, but I know that energy resources of every kind, especially fossil fuels, have hazardous impacts of the nature that you're describing.
Are you aware that solar energy also destroys thousands of birds every year, many of them rare species?
Now, that would really surprise me to learn.
I'll show you the videos. Do you believe that, Dr. Tierney, that a depression in a farmer or rancher's field that collects rainwater is a navigable waterway?
What I understand is that the EPA's proposal is based on scientific evidence of the relationship between water systems, wetlands, and a variety of other things into navigable waters of the United States.
So say in the case of maybe a ranch in my home state, which is not connected to any coast, that would be a navigable waterway if it was a depression full of rainwater in my district?
Well, I understand that there are navigable waterways of the United States that are in the interior of the United States because they cross interstate commerce and a variety of other things.
Have you ever navigated on a puddle after a rainstorm on a ranch in Oklahoma?
I think that's a facetious question, sir.
I'm just curious because it seems people think that this is a navigable waterway.
I don't have any information about a puddle that you're describing, and what I understand is that the EPA's proposal is based on scientific evidence.
On scientific evidence, okay. I will try to scientifically navigate a puddle after a rainstorm. General Fox, what impact do EPA rules have on tribal sovereignty?
Chairman Lummis, Congressman Russell, they have an impact in actually impeding and invading on tribal sovereignty. I think it's important to note that under the executive order that I cited earlier and the EPA policy that is promulgated from that order, that the executive branch has imposed upon itself a very important duty and responsibility to consult with each tribe, and of which there are 566 federally recognized tribes in the United States. And in this case, the EPA sent out a Dear Tribal letter a mere 2 days before the promulgation of the rule. This is the 111D rule. And that Dear Tribal letter, Dear Tribal Leader letter, referred only to the possibility of a tribe having on its reservation a coal-fired generation plant that might allow the tribe then to have primacy of its own air regulatory program. It didn't give anyone a heads up, and certainly not a timely heads up, and certainly not the 4 tribes who have coal minerals on their reservation, any indication of the impact that that rule might have on the sovereignty of that tribe. We have 7 federally recognized tribes in Montana. I think it's very important as a state and a nation that we respect the treaties and the agreements that we have with those tribes. And unfortunately, in this case, the EPA has violated the sovereignty of the Crow Nation pertaining to its Absaloka mine.
Well, thank you for that, General Fox. And in my limited time left, I'll direct this to Dr. Harrison. You spoke of $140 billion a year reduction in the GDP annually for a 65 parts per billion rate. Were you aware that the entire education budget that was being proposed this year was $140 billion with the Student Success Act? And also, were you aware that 4 times of the entire estimated gains of the Trans-Pacific Partnership would be that number, and that 1/3 of the defense budget equals the number that you say? And what impact would that have on our economy?
I was not aware of those combinations, but I guess it's another way of trying to put into perspective these estimates.
I appreciate the panel and the testimony here today. I think it's important for the nation to see the impacts on people in Montana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, I know, who has also joined in some of these lawsuits. We certainly have tribes as well, and I thank you, Madam Chairman, for this time.